There's probably a very liquid market in goats.
Let's see. I want to know now. How much does a goat cost? How much does a goat cost? A healthy baby goat or a kid can cost anywhere from $75 to $300, while an adult goat can cost between $200 and $500. That is from the website called goatsoap.com, but the Goat Journal at imacountryside.com says $250 for kids and $500 to $1,000 for breeding age does.
I guess doe is the
like a
word
lady
for
goat.
Female.
I bet the word for a male goat is goat.
Ram?
Is it?
I don't know. The rams are the sheep. We saw the sheep farm in Dingle, Ireland when we were there, and they have 300 ewes. And then once a year, they bring in the rams, and the rams do the insemination. So and it's like they bring in like 3 rams to inseminate these 300 ewes, and I'm like, these are some lucky fucking rams, man.
Man. Like,
the ones who don't make the cut, I don't think are so lucky.
Yeah. It's like those religions where you like die and you get 1,000 virgins or whatever. Like, you either like
turns
get
out they're
that,
goat virgins,
or you're like going to hell.
Yeah.
One or the other. You know.
I'm sure they castrate the rams that aren't as promising, or whatever.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So just so you know, a female is a doe or a nanny. A baby goat's a kid. A young male goat is a buckling if he's under 1 year old, or he's a buck once he's over a year old. A castrated male goat that's older than 12 months goat is a wether.
Okay.
Just so you know.
See? You learn a lot here on the
That's
Robert and
true.
Kalyn Get Rich podcast.
Yeah.
Whether you actually learn anything about money is another...
That's right. I looked up so there's bitch, right, for dogs.
Sure.
A female dog is a bitch.
Yes.
What is a male dog?
Oh.
A male dog is called a dog.
A dog.
Yeah, seriously. I looked it up. And there's like a lot of animals where it's like, oh, a male cow is a cow and a female cow is something else or whatever. Like
you paid a bad example because cows are bulls and steers, right? But anyway.
That's true. But squirrels, maybe.
Squirrels. Male squirrel and a female.
Female squirrel is called like a...
Squiggle.
Now I have to know. Male squirrels are called boars and female squirrels are called sows.
Get out of here.
That's what this says.
We need to start a petition.
What?
You know who we could get to address this? President Trump.
Yeah.
We need an executive order.
I think so.
You saw Trump's meme coin, right?
I was telling Mom and Dad that I basically get my news either from them or from you. So.
Well, I'm not going to do this justice, but basically on the eve of his inauguration, he launches this Trump coin, and he retains 80% of it or something. Okay. And then, the nutcases go in and they buy it up to be worth like $27 billion. So Trump's holding in this coin is worth $20 billion, which he just created overnight. And then Melania came up with one, and she did even better than he did.
Obviously, she didn't do it. Her people did it, and same with Trump. No judgment there. I was going to say, I don't even know how to do it. I really would be like, fuck it, let's make one. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, the skeptics are just like, this is a way for people to just put money directly into Trump's pocket. It's just an open channel for bribery.
I guess that, you could say the same thing with Dogecoin to a degree. I don't think Elon created Dogecoin, though, did he? He just,
No, he just became a fan of it.
Yeah, he's busy with lots of things, so being crazy for the most part. But,
shutting down whole government agencies to, despite any evidence of constitutionality.
We'll see. It's fun. Let's let some raccoons run the government. How about that? Just see what happens. I don't know.
I know. This is great for us. I mean, it's just fertile soil for us to
Yeah, no kidding.
Freaking make fun of. And
I don't know what else he's done lately, if anything. News
Which one?
From Robert.
Which one of them?
Either one of them.
Oh, Trump. Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Trump, his latest executive order. Here it is. Your executive order of the week is the Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports executive order signed yesterday. The President of the United States is going to protect opportunities for women and girls.
I mean, this is like just the big anti-trans movement, right?
Oh, yeah, big time. The Secretary of Education, now we're bossing around, and we're going to tell that person to take all appropriate action to affirmatively protect all female athletic opportunities. So the Secretary of the Department of Education tasked with this. So who is that? Well, that is Linda McMahon.
Is that Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, right. They look, impersonator. Well, here's the opening sentence to the Wikipedia. Linda Marie McCann is an American politician, business executive, and former professional wrestling performer.
Wow.
She's the wife of Vince McMahon, the founder of World Wrestling.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we're putting her in charge of education and also making sure that no women, no trans men get to compete in women's sports.
So now our biggest influences in our world right now are the guy who had The Apprentice TV show, the guy who hosted Fear Factor, and the dude who made the WWE's wife.
And the guy who bought Twitter and damn near ran it into the ground. And
right. That lunatic who was like, I don't even want to do this deal. Why did I sign that paper that signed me up to buy this company for
sorry, you have to.
They're like, that's how legal documents work.
Fine, I will. I'll buy it. But you're all fired. Yeah.
All smart people, but
putting them in charge of the freaking asylum is
I mean,
So you remember we looked at all those profiles of potential guests that somebody had? So I emailed them back and I was like, I don't know, we're a comedy podcast. Is the guy from Tasmania funny or whatever? And Saeed writes back, Josh is interested in an introductory meeting. But anyway, here's his media kit.
Good mustache.
Fine-looking guy.
Josh Wood. Yeah. TEDx speaker.
I don't know, but wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this logo. Josh Wood, and his logo looks like this. I don't know. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
And here he is. He's got a sweet stash. He really does.
He does, yeah.
I would get on Zoom with him and be like, dude, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast, but you got to know what you're getting yourself into here, man.
Yeah.
We're not talking about what it means to eat like an adult or...
What is the playground test?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we could talk to him about ice baths.
Sell us on this whole concept of ice baths.
Tell us why this is good or bad.
And also, what's your opinion on NVIDIA?
This week we're going to be talking about writing
ice
systems.
Baths?
That's the R ticker.
Ice bath and General Electric.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
Let's get into politics. That seems like something you definitely want to talk about.
Honestly, I'd be like, I just want to hear what your accent is like, and I want to see your mustache in person.
Yeah, he's from Tasmania.
Tasmania. I didn't even know you could be from Tasmania.
He looks like he's from New Hampshire.
He looks like a lumberjack.
Montana, maybe. Someplace where there's lots of woods.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am named after this forest. Josh Woods, that's my name. Yeah. And what I'm into is swinging an axe, taking an ice bath, doing some sort of playground test or something, and health and stuff, being a coach.
And I go out there in the woods and I hit a deer over the head and then drag its carcass back 14 miles to the base camp. And we can ask them all about that, I guess.
Yeah. I'll be like, so I shot a squirrel with a 9mm twice.
I didn't know it was a 9mm at the time.
Right.
And I killed this other squirrel.
I still would have done it. The plan was not going to change. I could have been an AK-47 and I still would have been like, okay. Rambo style with the squirrel. But I know you're not about that way, since you probably want to wrestle it to the ground or something. How would you...
So would you invest in General Electric right now? Or?
Yeah, so... What do you think about Dippin' Dots?
This is I think you mentioned January asking you about investment advice episode, and I'm like, and I've been asked about investment advice too, you know, based on this, and I'm like, you have never ever heard our podcast if you
like you certainly skipped the disclosure part where we're like, by the way,
well,
don't listen.
Do you understand you're talking to two people who shorted a company because we thought the CEO wasn't very good looking? I mean, like, and that has done great. That one has done awesome. But like, you're gonna ask us whether you should buy NVIDIA right now or not?
Yeah, January's like, what do you think I should do? I'm like, I think you should stay being a doctor and go with whatever MD Anderson's 403B or something.
Right. But, so somewhat related, I'm on this thing called Pod Lottery where I listen to other people's podcasts and then I rate and review them, and then I win chances to get our podcast rated and reviewed. So I listen to some god-awful shit.
Interesting.
But I'm already tied to our podcast, so I'm not sure if you could also be, unless you want to start a spin-off podcast, which I think some of these people do, because I've reviewed more than one by like the same people, or like I've watched the one that's the Kalyn podcast, and then the Kalyn and Robert podcast, and then the Robert podcast.
We'll have the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich, and then mine will be the Kalyn and Robert Get Rich.
Exactly.
We'll just post exactly the same videos with like
same videos.
Just switcheroo, We'll have a just voiceover that's like Kalyn and Robert. Whenever you say Robert and Kalyn, like
you're listening to the Kalyn and
Robert Get Rich podcast. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. But.
So anyway, the one I got assigned this time was the How to Be a Grown Up, a humorous guide for moms with CK and GK, and the episode that was up was on flawed finances, and they've decided that February is Finance February. And so I was kind of like, all right, you guys are a self-described humorous advice podcast for moms, and we're a self-described comedy finance podcast.
Yeah, we can be like, how to get rich with RK and KK.
And CK and GK.
Like, you can be so cute together.
Just that by itself, man. This is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, we definitely need to collaborate with those guys. Like,
so anyway, but the show opens like it's just instead of telling, why don't I show? I mean, like, here we go. Here it is.
That is a funny laugh.
Yeah. It sort of reminds me when our Bangladeshi friend, he's now started putting little teasers at the beginning of our episodes on YouTube. And so when he first started doing this, they were just like the worst, most boring crap. Like it'd be like me saying like, all right, here's the chart of Ford stock price or whatever.
And like, okay, let's look at this. Like, how are we doing?
And then it would be like, and then it would show like.
Later on, Robert and Kalyn Get Rich, like, boring shit happens. Stay tuned.
It's my number one job on this podcast to cut out all the boring shit, so. Which is why some weeks I feel like I'm fortunate to get up to as many as 40 minutes of content. But anyway.
I want to play this little clip. This is a French TV show, but they brought on all these people who have unique laughs, right?
Oh.
And so...
Vous êtes célibataire, c'est pas à cause de votre rire? J'espère pas. Non.
That's a laugh.
That is so good. This is what we watch in France. That cannot be a laugh. That one is. That one it cannot. That
like, I don't even know. I totally get how you could like like, though that does start to sound like a bunch of wild animals. Like, but yeah, I don't know how you get that. Like,
I mean, even if it had a little, but like,
but it sounds like,
and then that just made the rest of them go nuts. Like,
oh yeah, well if I like heard somebody making that noise, I like just in conversation. If that's how you laughed every time, I'd be like, this is all the podcast will be. As soon as you start laughing, then I will not stop laughing.
There is
like, whatever.
That's as much laughter as we're gonna see out of this show in all likelihood. So,
well,
you know what? probably ought to start the show. So yeah, I think.
Why don't we cue the music or the?
Cue the laugh track. Cue the music. You are listening to the Robert and Kalyn Laughing Funny Ways podcast.
Or Kalyn and Robert get rich.
Or Kalyn and Robert get rich. Or Robert and Kalyn get rich. Or any of our clones.
Depending on which version you're listening to. Yeah.
We're just trying to earn extra reviews, so whatever we call it, we do. So anyhow, listen, we're calling out to all of our Tasmanian listeners this week. If you know Josh, please drop us a line about whether we should have him on the podcast or not. Is that cat funny or not? Because his press kit doesn't say anything about it. Anyhow, you are listening to episode 39. Today is February 6th, 2025. It's our Rare Thursday episode. We are going to be under the gun to get this some bitch edited and out the door. I don't think you're going to see it at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And that's because we are Robert Kimmel, one of your hosts, and Kalyn Kimmel.
Kalyn Kimmel, who apparently has a sleeping disorder.
Yes.
Please like and subscribe. Send this to your friends and family. They'll help with job interviews and, win points with future employers, for sure. Send us on.
Sure. The one thing it's not going to really help with January, I hate to tell you, but we do not provide investment or financial advice. I mean, the closest we're going to get is like showing you some Reddits of French people laughing and suggesting you send that to your friends. If that's somehow. Yeah,
right. We're going to talk politics.
Our version of politics, which involves calling politicians hot and.
And like saying like, wait, McKinley was a president?
I'm so glad you said that. So I want to, one thing we're about here at the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich podcast is integrity above all else, true. I would say. Yeah. So because of this strong commitment to integrity, I feel like we have to point out when we make a mistake and we need to do a redaction. So the factoid that we got wrong, Kalyn, remember this is... this actually is on you. Apologies, but you said President John Tyler's great-grandson is alive today. And loyal listener, fan of the show, Justin Strickland pointed out, no, that's not true. Well, that might be true, but the actual fact is, no, not great-grandson, grandson.
Oh.
Grandson Harrison Ruffin Tyler is... still alive. His brother Leon died a few years ago. But look at this, 2 steps back. Our grandfather was born in 1920 or thereabout, and this guy's grandfather was born in 1790.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the difference in the year. Like, so 1790 to 1853 is 63 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 1853 to 1928 is like 75
years. He had a son.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
Leon Tyler's like, who says you can't have a baby when you're in a walker? Like,
well, the dudes,
probably
I mean,
birth
control.
No, erectile medications. Like,
I think it was. Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of symbolist, commercials running on 1850. It'd be like, "Oy yay, men! Have you not been sufficiently endowed in the bedroom with your beloved?"
Right, exactly. 1928 minus 1889 is, she was 40 when she had him.
Yeah, 39, which is older, but not so crazy. But
I mean, that's technically a geriatric pregnancy, but yeah. I mean, what else were they doing back then? They're like, I can still do this? I thought one of these babies was going to kill me.
Well, half this, no doubt. Like, I just keep cranking them out, and like, man, it's like just tempting fate. I know one of these is going to be my last. No, but
Yeah.
no, half of these guys' tricks, right, is robbing the cradle. I mean, like John
Well,
Tyler's
yeah.
born in 1790, but he's banging this chick born in 1820, so she's 30
years
younger.
young. And then,
Yeah.
I was just doing the math on Sue Ruffin and Leon,
Yeah.
Lionel, whatever, Leon.
Yeah,
36
he did
years
even better.
there.
36 years, you know.
Man.
So right now,
Like
I
my-
would be
so my
I would be dating an
spouse-
11-year-old. Yes,
Right,
and-
like my spouse, like, is in second grade, maybe. Like, wait, I'm 42.
no, your spouse would be 78 years
No,
older.
I'm saying if I'm also, we're progressive here. I
Oh.
could date, like, I could be 36 years older than my spouse also, because
Yeah.
fairness. So that would make them 6 right now, maybe 7.
Yeah.
So if they're precocious, they may be in second grade. Like,
Probably easier for you to find a 78-year-old to mate with, but anyway.
well, I mean, I'm not really into the 6-year-olds, so
Not into 6-year-olds or 78-year-olds, but
yeah, both are out of my range. Like,
your standard.
I don't-
Well, if one's rich, though, man, if that's freaking second
Well,
grader's rich, you'd be
that
like, hell.
second grader, yeah, like, hey, come to mommy. You want to play with mommy? Like,
Baron.
yeah, right.
Or wanna-
Like, yeah.
or the Musk's kid that's like named X7
Oh yeah,
one
the-
day.
yeah. They call him like Sen or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, any of Elon Musk's kids, like, they're all pretty young. He's got like
Yeah.
12 of them or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'll take one from the first go round. One of
Yeah.
the triplets or the.
Yeah. Gotta wait
Yeah,
a couple
totally.
years till they actually hit puberty and I can actually do anything to create
Yeah.
offspring. But hey,
Right. And like, how old's Trump? He's like 80
He is-
something, right?
he's going to hit 80 during his presidency. So I think he's
So
78.
he's almost exactly the right age then. 36 plus 42. 78?
Yeah. Yep. And
Like-
he was born. His birthday is June 14th, so it's really not too far from yours. So he's
That's
right up there.
true. He's, yeah. That's good. It's
Yeah.
always important. He's.
All signs are positive right now. We just
I
gotta.
mean,
we-
yeah. Right. I think we need to get rid of Melania. That's what they take away right now.
Race is a
Like,
good question. How old is Melania? She's 54. So
Yeah, I mean, she's aging out. You know.
Trump's got to learn something from the Tylers because he only went 24 years younger. You can do way better than that.
But
Trump.
I mean, they've been together for a good while, good clip now. You know, but like, I mean, I get why Anna Nicole Smith was like, "Hey, oil tycoon, billionaire, like, you can be a billion," and I'm still like, I'm all about it. You know, like, what was his name?
J. Howard Marshall,
Yeah, he was born in 1905.
stray cat.
Yeah,
1905. This guy.
he died at 90.
Yeah.
They were only married for 2 years, but I watched some of her documentary, and like, they met when she was just a stripper. She had a rough go, honestly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel kind of bad for her. Like, she reconnected with her father, who had been estranged once she'd like gotten to be famous. Like, she's been in movies at this point, so like, she brought him to Hollywood with her brother, and like, he tried to sleep with her father, and I'm like, oh god, like. Like, man, what do fucking men think sometimes?
Yeah, I've never been into the child sex thing, and incest, that's pretty low on my list too.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. Right. Like, you're a handsome guy, but the idea of like making out with you, I'd rather fucking. I'll start cutting myself. Like, you guys
Yeah.
want to see? I'll find that gun again. I'll get the BB gun and start shooting myself in the eye.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
no offense. Like,
I'm taken. All right.
like, yeah. So that's some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Good
but
topic.
he
Good
was a billionaire. Like,
Yeah.
He had
Well, so
a
she died a billionaire. I know the family fought her for
So,
the money. or
yeah,
some of
no,
the money.
like, I don't think that she actually got the money.
Oh. So she had to do
yeah.
all that, and the reward never came.
Yeah, like, okay, Walker. Okay, there's a girl before he was before Anna Nicole Smith was some other stripper, and he gave her $15 million worth of jewelry.
This dude's got a type. He's got a type.
Yeah. He likes really pretty girls who don't mind getting naked. Yeah.
Well, if I were a billionaire, I think that would be my type too. I
mean,
I don't know about like strippers a little on the dark end of the spectrum, but
right. But like what these two talked about, you know,
right.
She was 26, he's 89, she's a stripper, he's a, you know, oil tycoon, and like, you know, huge. His estate was valued at 1.6 billion at his death.
You know, the heart wants what the heart wants, Kalyn. You know, so.
But like, yeah, you just want somebody who like doesn't actually care about you, but just like kind of pretends to care about you. I mean,
well, what my heart wants is to beat the S&P 500. So.
Yeah.
Let's see how we're doing.
I wonder how we're doing.
Brace yourself.
I'm ready.
We are plus 17%.
Dang.
With
some, yeah.
500
like
on the
20%.
side. But look at how much it's down today. Like, so we were above 20% if we'd have done this show yesterday or the day before. We were plus 20%. No, yeah. You blew it, Kalyn.
Sorry.
Gotta do our. Somehow today, Denison Mines just went in the absolute shitter, so we lost a ton of money there, and then we lost on ATAI, which, like I said, has been a great investment for us, by the way.
Am I the asshole? Yeah. I am really happy to see that Fannie Mae is doing quite well, it looks like, still.
Yeah.
When January was like, what should I put money in? I was like, I don't think you should take advice from me, but if you're going to invest in anything, I would say Fannie Mae. It
was up 17% today, and then sold off. Yeah, because it was up at 690. So it's got like this range, so like $5.50 to up to $7. So I almost the other day I was like, Kalyn, Fannie Mae's at 580. Like, you should buy some. It's gonna go to $7.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So maybe you wait for this cycle to come back down, and
no kidding.
So I sold some today. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've taken out almost what I put into Fannie Mae and still have a whole bunch left. From the upside, from the earnings. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice.
I don't know. I was sort of wondering if we should like trim the portfolio a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we should like TXMD. What would you do right now with TXMD? We're down 50%. like, so I'm like, I mean, we more than made up for it, obviously, but like, yeah.
All right, so this is like we used to play online poker, Andrea and me, right? And Andrea would make these just terrible plays, right? Like raise on a terrible hand or something, and then something would come around and she'd come to me and be like, well, what would you do now? And I'd be like, I don't know what I would do now, because I never would have made that terrible play. I wouldn't be in this hand in the first place, much less with a $500 pot. So that's how I feel about TXMD. I'm like, I don't know what I would do, because I would never be in this. So maybe you sell it.
But here we are. We're in it. We're here. We have invested our fake money into this. So.
So what you got to ask is,
are we cutting our losses? Would you, if you, I guess we know what you, based on like the stocks you've had that have not done well.
Yeah.
Let's not name specific airlines, but like, there were points where it was like, should you cut your losses and walk away, or do you just hang on? And I don't even know exactly I don't know if you did like hedge or anything. Obviously I didn't.
I'm lost standing until the end.
Yeah. So, okay, we keep them then. We keep the dogs to see if they turn into gold.
I was going to say, what you got to ask yourself is, what do the other players at the table think you have? So what are the other stockholders of ATA? I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what do they think we have? Like, the people who look at this portfolio, they're like, or like those two, Robert and Kalyn, what have they invested in? And we're like, we've invested in Jacobs Group, Kellanova, also some like hippy dippy drugs, and Chewy, and it might, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, just a random smattering.
Yeah. No, I mean, and our stuff's been so swingy. Like, there's so much stuff that's like down 50% and so much stuff that's like up 50%, but it all adds up.
That's exactly how my real portfolio looks, by the way. Like, exactly. Like,
right.
That's it.
And you're up 20% net, or like, because that's pretty good.
I mean, total gain. Today's gain is like 1%, but total gain in this one is like 350%. But yeah. I mean, I've kept all my dogs.
Right.
Know?
Yeah, fair point.
Like,
fair point. Well, whatever you want to do.
You know.
It's your world.
It's your world.
Whose world
too,
it's
Robert.
not is the S&P 500. Standard & Poor, not their world. I don't know, maybe it is, but yeah, so S&P 500. Remember, we were up 17%. They're up 7%.
Yeah.
We're beaten by 10.
So maybe we should be
points.
providing financial advice and investing advice. We're just like, it's going to be kind of crazy. Just know that. Like, some things, you're going to watch your money go to zero on some stuff, and we're going to make you remember that forever.
Us
like
providing investment advice, that'd be like providing scratchers advice, really. It'd be like, it's like, here's some, you can scratch these, and some of them win.
Yeah, you might win, or you might just lose money like you're probably going to.
Yeah.
Like,
you
could all just take the money to the casino and just be like, play it on slots, see what happens.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like,
somebody hits. Are you going to take financial advice from that guy because he hit on slots?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I'll tell you who not to take good financial advice from.
They're friends for fucking sure. Man.
They're clawing their way back to zero, in fairness. But man, is that Pulte Holmes a weight around their neck, man? It's like, whew.
Yeah. I mean, we've got way worse than that in some of our stuff, so I don't feel that bad.
They just
for
need
them.
more
They've only
crazy
lost a
picks.
quarter. Yeah, we need like, man, we need like somebody to come on so we can have something to add to this. Justin, what do you want us to invest in? You get a we can do your pick now, and then in episode 50 we'll see if you saved the day for the Friends portfolio.
He said he knows what he wants his pick to be, and he keeps asking what our plans are for the 50th thing, and I was like, plans?
He's a planner. Yeah, I know. Kalyn might be asleep. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, though we should honestly make a plan for our 50th.
I don't know what to plan except for people show up and we set up microphones and we talk and we eat gummy bears. What else?
Yeah, but like, no. I mean, we just need to we need to decide what day we're doing it, and then that's when it's gonna happen. So we got 11 weeks till.
Yeah.
Let's see, on Yom Shahoah. Oh, that's good. April 24th is Yom Shahoah, which means Holocaust Remembrance Day.
What? I can't.
Very, very appropriate for our.
I can't imagine a better day. April 22nd was Earth Day, and I was going to say one of our values is protecting the environment along with diversity. So
the 23rd is Administrative Professionals Day, so we're not that either.
It's an embarrassment of riches. It's an embarrassment
Easter
of riches.
Monday, man, we got nothing but choices that week.
Celebrate Easter with us, Robert and Kalyn Get Rich.
Or celebrate Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Yeah.
We can do both.
our Holocaust Remembrance Day, it'll be like, hey guys, it's the Holocaust. Wonka wonka.
Yeah. And Jesus was raised from the dead just a few days ago.
Wow.
And thanks so much, secretaries. Good work
helping us save the earth.
Yeah. Thank you so much for filing these papers so efficiently so we didn't have to cut down more trees. Yay. Hitler sucks.
Hitler does suck.
Fuck Hitler.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So
you can write that down. Robert and Kalyn Get Rich.
Yeah.
We are not in favor of Hitler.
We're taking a firm stand on this. We are taking a firm stand on this one. Yeah. Hitler, fuck that guy.
He sucks. Anyway.
Yeah.
We should transition to something that doesn't suck, which is...
Yeah, that's true.
The gummy bear.
It's also...
So let me see where we are in terms of... All right, we are at 2 pounds, 1.7 ounces, and I will commence with the eating of gummy bear. Oh, my timing's bad because you're putting on lip stuff. You're supposed to talk while
I know. I'm actually using the Gummy Bear lip gloss that like I got. So, it's very sparkly. Woo, so beautiful.
I feel like, except for the Gummy Bear, we've kind of moved on from the candy phase of the podcast. I mean, and the Mountain Dew phase.
I think that's right. Like, yeah.
I concur, doctor.
Like, never ended up being all that funny. Like, it was fun to try different weird foods and stuff and, like, be like, here, let's eat Coke-flavored Oreos and drink mystery Mountain Dew and whatever. But, like, not the best podcast material, I don't think, at the end of the day.
No.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
We still have the letter to Mountain Dew up on our... That's the thing pinned at the top of our Facebook page. And the main reason for that is I don't know how to unpin it, so...
I forgot, every time I get on Facebook, it's always like, you've got 25 notifications on the other profile, on the Robert and Kalyn profile, but it won't let me, I toggle over and it's like, you're not an administrator. And I'm like, I think I am. Like, I think I'm supposed to have all of the, but then fucking stop telling me how many notifications I don't care if I can't do anything about that. It's just like, by the way, you might want to let Robert know that there's, a lot of notifications,
Dude,
stupid.
Profiles and access and all, I find navigating Meta just to be bewildering. It's just where to go and what to do and how to get your, and especially around the profiles.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a us getting older thing that's happening right now, but I'm suddenly I'm man, all this technology shit has started to feel fucking cumbersome as fuck, all the passwords and sharing it's just man, back in my day, whatever. I don't know. I didn't have to worry about having a new login every 3 months for every single one of my accounts and having a secondary whatever they have. Now they're like, oh, do you want to have this other login thing? You have this two-time whatever.
Two-factor authentication.
Yes, exactly. That's
I'm gonna text this code to your wife's old email.
Man, if you've got my phone already, then great.
Go nuts.
You're gonna get the text that's hey, is this you? Yep. I stole Kalyn's phone and I cut off her thumb and now I can, or whatever. I'm holding up a picture of her face so that my phone turns on. It's it's about that easy. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know that it's all that much safer. Whatever. I don't even care. I'm just
if it involves severing thumbs, it's at least a little safer if that's the workaround.
Well, that was the old phone, the old that when you did the thumbprint thing.
Yeah. I never did that. I didn't do the face thing. I don't do any of this stuff. I wouldn't even have the PIN number if I didn't have to. I can't. Yeah, we do sound old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have an older phone though. I mean, my phone. I don't even know if that's an option to have a code or whatever. My fucking watch wants me to have a code. If I don't have my phone open and my watch is password please. And I'm like, really? This is a version 3 of this watch that I got for $40. I have nothing private locked up in here.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So listen, the weigh-in, the post-eating weigh-in is 1 pound, 14.9 ounces.
Wow.
So that's roughly a little less than 3 ounces. So we have 31 ounces to go, plus or minus.
31 and
so 11. We're right at 10.
You got to eat, yeah.
We're right on pace.
2.81. That's what we need to be eating each week.
Well, that's what I wrote. 2.8. That's almost exactly what I ate. So perfect. All right.
Yeah. So that's what you got to eat. I should try to get there a little bit before, I guess, the 50th episode so I can
enjoy some.
We can I can put the weight on my shoulders as well of eating. Oh,
I can bear this burden, Kalyn. Don't you worry. This candy is
I ate
so
a lot
good.
of that shit before. It is really good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with TSA with another gummy bear though. I was they're like, we're gonna have to look at this. I'm like, oh, I know it's the gummy bear, and they were like, they thought it was a gummy bear, and I'm like, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, you guys thought it was a gummy. I mean, is this some way that people are smuggling drugs in or bombs or something? I don't know. Whatever. I'm like, you guys do your thing, TSA.
I know we're past the candy phase of the podcast, but I did come across one really interesting candy tidbit this week. So, which is this, sent in by a loyal listener, Kelly, and it is this: what is the mystery flavor, the Dum Dums mystery flavor? So Dum Dums, the
lollipops, yeah.
Yep. Do you know what it is? They actually say,
is it always the same, or does it change?
It changes, but I will tell you what it is.
Well, I have not had one in many years, so you can tell me that. You can tell me that it's always.
It changes more frequently than that.
Okay.
So here it is. Here's the secret.
Here, at last.
Yeah, at last. Humanity.
Oh, God. Man, I have been praying. I've been like, please, God, can you please reveal the secrets of the Dum Dums mystery flavor?
Well, you know how Trump signed these executive orders to unlock all the secrets around Kennedy's assassination? I think Dum Dums knew that was coming, and so they're
like, let's get ahead of this. We don't need to have like an executive order put in front of us. We don't need Doug Burgum coming over here and being like, come on, Dum.
So here it is. Instead of shutting down the machinery between runs and emptying out the previous batch's flavor from the machines, they just start the next one, and the mystery flavor is the
that actually makes that's very practical.
It's
I
genius.
Like that, Dum Dums.
Having worked in plastics manufacturing, where you're like, you got this machine and it's got to do a white part and then it's got to do a black part, and you got to like run it for like hours to get all the white out and use all this cleaner and stuff. Instead of that, they're like
mystery flavor.
Sell that shit, man.
Yeah, like people will love it. Like that's so interesting.
My old barber. He got a kick out of, we took Kiara there, or I would bring the kids while I got my haircut. This is when they were little.
Yeah.
And, he would give them a lollipop at the end of my haircut. And he asked Kiara what her favorite flavor is. And she said, mystery. So he loved that.
That's so funny.
All right. You had 2 points on the podcast plan. One was, you wrote the words "time left" in and put asterisks on either side. And what is that?
Yeah. So a couple of people had recommended this this platform to me. So it's called Time Left, which basically sounds like you're about to die and I'm in palliative care, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What it is it sets you up for dinner with 4 strangers, and so I went and did it, and I think that name is the craziest name I've ever... where do they... First of all, it's 5 strangers. How about the name Party of 5? Like the TV show and stuff? Like, why did we... cute throwback. It's about friends, Yeah. Like, anyway. And it was really interesting. Definitely not people that... I, had a good time, for sure. I don't see friendships being built from this really, but like one dude was like, I am really into he would just name things, and I'm like, I'm into all of that stuff. Like he's like, I just got into Legos lately. I'm like, me too. He's like, I like true crime. I'm like, oh my god. Like, yeah, whatever. I thought that it had just come to Houston because I'd had all this trouble logging in, and I mentioned that while I was at dinner, and they're like, no, it started here. Like it's been around for years now. But I don't know. Right. Anyways, I just thought it was really funny that they named it Time Left.
Yeah, that's just a terrible name.
It's the worst branding I've ever heard of. But Andre had mentioned it to me. Claire had mentioned it to me. I had heard about it from something. Yeah, Andre was like, "This. I just heard about this on NPR. Thought you might want to do it. I don't know." And I was like, "Funny. I just signed up for that." But anyway.
Yeah, the foundation story of that name must be interesting. The founder's like, how do I want to spend my time left? Well, I want to spend it meeting new people and creating relationships.
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe I should find out. I'll open this app.
I gotta imagine, some of these guys were hardcore time left people, I imagine, right? This was their 50th dinner.
In my group, we were all new, but there was one dude who was I was like, are you a mole? He was like, so if you guys were going to rate like on a scale from 1 to 10, whether you would recommend this. I'm like, is this how you guys are doing? Like, you guys could just send us a survey afterwards. You don't need to, whatever, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I paid for a month, but it's $25 for me to like have the privilege of going to a restaurant that they select with people from this site. It's a pretty good idea, though. I mean, they sent like a bunch of like games or whatever, so you could ask each other questions and stuff. If like we didn't really need it, but like it did make it fun.
I heard an interview with the Airbnb founder, I think, and you know, they're one of the things they're considering as an extension is like, not only can we hook you up with the Airbnb in this location, we got all this data. We know who other travelers that are going to be in Munich, you know, this weekend, and we can connect you with other Americans and, you know,
well, they've had like things you can do through Airbnb. Like if you wanted to go on a city tour, like Robert's offering city tours of the Cleveland Heights area, blah, 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 or whatever. And it's like an extra whatever cost. But I thought that was smart for people that like really want to get into the hosting thing, you know, or whatever.
Right.
That was like not the way that I was on Airbnb, like where I'm like, I will be seeing you
throw the keys at him and run away.
Like I will tell you the code to get into the apartment. Like if you know, whatever.
I think that's most people's preference, both the hosts and the guests.
You know whose it's not?
Dad.
Like he wanted to go and he wants to have long conversations. When he used to tell me about Airbnb all the time after I was already a host, he's like, have I mentioned the site Airbnb? I'm like, Dad, yes. That's like but yeah, he would go and he'd want to like, he had a couple of people that like cooked him dinner and stuff. I don't know if I'm like, this is so hard for me to imagine myself as the host being like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat dinner, so because I don't know, like I don't want to just hang out with some stranger.
Well, you probably wouldn't just rent your bedroom that's like connected to the rest of the apartment, right? You'd be like, you want a separate door, like all that, but
right. And I did it a couple, like in Australia twice. I stayed like with people that were also staying there. One was like a totally separate like little apartment, and that lady was crazy. It was really weird situation. She was like handicapped and like got super drunk, and then was like do this, like she was like farting and burping constantly, but like wanted me to be around her. Like she's like, oh, excuse me. I'm like,
sloppy drunk, and
I'm like, I don't even know how to act right now. Like, this is so weird that, like, you're like, yeah. Oh, no, do you want another glass of wine? Like gets her wheelchair over to, like, I'm like, I just want to, no. But, yeah, like, with those folks, generally, I don't want to hang out. Like, I'm not looking for company. Even if we're staying in the same place, which is not my preference, but I was economizing there. Like, yeah. The other one I didn't see at all. Like, I was staying, like, in some weird little closet that she had, and I don't know. It was, like, just there to sleep, nothing else. Yeah. It was, like, I don't know. But, yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Kalyn, speaking of time left, we have no time left. And I think it's time we wrap up this show. Let's cue the music. Okie dokie. You've been listening to the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich podcast, episode 39. Robert Kimmel, your host. Kalyn Kimmel, your other host. Thank you so much for watching. Won't you rate us, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, send us to all your friends and all your enemies and all your coworkers and everyone that you go to church with. And if you happen to go to an Airbnb, I suggest you share this with the host.
With your host, yeah, totally. And send us an email.
Robert and Kalyn Get Rich at gmail.com. Kalyn is spelled Kalyn.
Yeah.
Just remember one thing above all else. Who's going to take it today, Kalyn, you or me?
We give lots and lots of solid advice, none of which is about finances or investment.
We give terrible advice about finances and investment and the rest of life, but we are absolutely creaming the S&P 500. So
that's right. Yeah.
Just
saying. You want to know about taking care of squirrels?
Yeah. All right. With that, Kalyn, I think we're so good. But with that, Kalyn.
Oh wait! I should. Yeah.
Aucune femme ne va.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep. All right, bye.